I mean, how are you going to get the world to behave so that you're okay and you're in your safe spot? It doesn't happen. What we need to do, what you need to do is clean house. Let people know what's acceptable for you in your life. And what I mean when I say that is, look, here's the party that's my life. You can come into the party if you're not toxic, if you don't take advantage of me, if you don't talk down to me. We can have a relationship. If not, you're not invited to the party. Hello and welcome to my podcast, Show Up. My name is Daryl Dittmer. As someone who built financial freedom from scratch, I understand what's possible, as there was a time when I thought I had only a life of mediocrity ahead of me. Drinking, drugs, and zero confidence plagued me. The one thing that changed my life is when I decided to do things differently and give success a chance. And I don't just mean financial success, I mean life success. I started to show up to my life and my career, and one step after another provided me the life I never thought possible. At any age, life begins to change when you start to show up. Welcome to my podcast. There are many things in this life, based on my experiences and everything that I've been through, I'm very, very chill about. And then there are things about which I am not so chill. Buzzword Bingo is one of those things. It seems that we're living in an age when people confuse doing the work with saying the words, talking about healing, but instead of doing the healing, talking about the buzzwords instead of doing the healing. So let's start with one of my favorites, self-love. What is self-love? I was actually asked that on a podcast, and I think I shocked the host with my answer because most people think self-love is something you just decide. Oh, well, I'm not feeling so good. I don't really like myself, but you know what? I'm just going to practice self-love. What in God's name is that? What is that thing you're calling self-love? You know what self-love is? And there are many examples of it, but if you are allowing toxic people to run your life, you're not practicing self-love. If you're allowing food or other addictions, drugs, alcohol, weed, whatever it is, to run your life, you are not practicing self-love. The way you practice self-love is to do things that show yourself that you love yourself. And that could be eating right. That could be not eating after 7 o'clock p.m. That could be losing some weight. That could be, getting rid of some toxic people in your life. That could be not going out every single weekend and spending that time to study or to get better at something. There's a lot of ways we can practice self-love, and I think that's a wonderful thing. But just telling yourself that you're supposed to love yourself because that's the recent buzzword is bullshit. It's not going to work. So do something different. Show up for yourself. Show up for your life and show up for self-love. Because once you start doing that, you'll get addicted to doing things that you feel good about. And that's what I want for you. What's another one? Boundaries. Boundaries is a big favorite. So back in the day when I was coming up in this world of change and of being different, we never used the word boundaries. We used to say, you teach people how to treat you. And I think that's a more accurate statement when it comes to boundaries. I think people get boundaries confused with, I'm just going to get the world to behave the way I need them to so that I feel okay. That is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. It really is. I mean, how are you going to get the world to behave so that you're okay and you're in your safe spot? It doesn't happen. What we need to do, what you need to do is clean house. Let people know what's acceptable for you in your life. And what I mean when I say that is, look, here's the party that's my life. You can come into the party if you're not toxic, if you don't take advantage of me, if you don't talk down to me, we can have a relationship. If not, you're not invited to the party. That's teaching people how to treat you. Boundaries isn't setting up some force field. It's just, hey, this is what I expect, and I'm going to do the same with you. I'm going to respect you. I'm going to ask you to respect me. And if you can't or you're not willing, we're not going to be at each other's party. And that's what showing up is in terms of what today they call boundaries. Inner child. Now, I am a big fan of understanding where you come from and understanding what may have happened in younger years to try to move forward and move past and move through those things. And that takes a lot of grit, and it takes feeling pain, and it takes moving through that hurricane of difficulty and difficult feelings to be able to let some of those things go. But here's the caution when it comes to working with your inner child, and I'll just say with your past, reconciling your past, coming to terms with your past. That's really what the inner child stuff is. It's not, giving your inner child a lollipop every day and telling it to feel okay. It's not. It's moving through difficulty in terms of what comes up for you as you heal. And you can sometimes go into situations that help you have that inner child work happen. And then other times, just in the course of finding some peace and finding some clarity and finding some quiet, those things will come up. Life will show you what needs to happen. It will bring up those feelings. And one thing I recommend is feel them and move on, but don't live there. The happiest entity that will be the most excited about you, doing some inner child work and then backing away from it, your inner adult. Your inner adult will be very happy about you dealing with your inner child. But you know what? Life is in the windshield. Life is not in the rearview mirror. The rearview mirror is to calibrate and sort of find out where you're at, but you got to live life through the windshield. And the one that lives life through the windshield is your inner adult. And that is showing up for your life, is living it through the windshield and dealing with all of your responsibilities. The most important being showing up for yourself in a way that helps you grow and helps you change and helps you move forward. Authenticity. That's another really good one. I'm a big fan of, and believe me, when I was younger, we used to call that get real. Just be real. Authenticity was, and being real was a difficult thing for me because I wanted to be in a different place. I had terrible self-esteem. I had no confidence. I couldn't look people in the eye. I couldn't have a conversation. There were a lot of things that I was not able to do. So I was trying to be somebody different. And the way to change is to understand that you are where you are at any given moment. And here's the caveat: you have to be trying to change. And that's the important part. That's showing up for yourself as regards moving forward. But you have to start knowing where you are. And when I was finally able to say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, which meant I was sick and tired of who I was at that time, I really started to move that ball forward and move my life forward. And then authenticity became a different place for me. And me being authentic today is very different than me being authentic when I was in my younger years, because I'm able to be where I am and confident and happy. I don't need to be anywhere else. But when I did want to be somewhere else, I wasn't being authentic by pretending. So authenticity, just be where you are, and that's okay. And someday you'll get sick of it and you'll want to move forward. And that's when you start showing up for yourself. So here's the last one. And this is one that I think is old. It's an old one. And I still don't quite understand it as I've experienced change in my life. People talk about, well, if you just think positive, everything will be okay. No, it won't. Life is going to suck sometimes. Really suck. I've lost a ton of people in my life. I've lost a lot of relationships. I have ushered people to the outer gates of my life, which has been very painful for me, including family members. No amount of thinking positive is going to make that any easier. And that's what you need to understand, that thinking positive doesn't change shit. Thinking positive actually keeps you from diving into the painful feelings of change, and sometimes what it takes to change, which is consciously and intentionally changing your life and changing yourself. And it's okay to feel that pain. You don't have to mask it by trying to positively. That's just, you're completely defeating the purpose by trying to replace pain with positivity. I'll tell you one thing about pain, and it holds true with good times too, but this too shall pass. Pain always passes. And again, the caveat is you have to be looking to show up and you have to be trying. But pain always passes. So sometimes if you just feel the pain and allow yourself to feel it and cry it out or talk it out or write it out or whatever you need to do to move through it, this too shall pass will come true, and you'll move past that pain and you'll move to a different place. And if you don't try to mask it with thinking positively, then you've actually moved forward and you've moved on. If you mask it by thinking positively or talking about thinking positively, then all you're doing is stuffing it down and replacing it with what you call positive thoughts. There's no healing in that. And to move forward in your life, you need to heal. So these are some ideas in terms of showing up. I hope they're helpful. And if you have any questions, certainly reach out to me. You can catch me on my website, daryldittmer.com. And I'll be back with another Not So Chill episode. Thank you for joining us on the Show Up podcast. To learn more about me, my coaching, or my books, please feel free to visit my website, daryldittmer.com. DarylDittmer.com. Thank you.